And we are live. Welcome to another Super Galactic Saturday. I'm Jerry Sr. with Jerry Jr.
Good morning.
And we have another special guest. Once again, Hero Geek has joined us and he's hanging out with us today. We're going to live stream and talk about some cool stuff and have some fun and have some engaging conversations. And yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for your time and attention. We appreciate it. And
No problem.
another
Greetings, Earthlings.
beautiful day on this Saturday morning. What were you going to say?
I said greetings, Earthlings.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for joining us. We appreciate you, and always glad to have you. And another beautiful Saturday morning, and any day above ground is a good day. So today is definitely a good day. So thanks for joining us. And the title, the topic I threw out there was, should we have sympathetic villains? And and basically it's tying into the latest conversation regarding villains and villainy and how Hollywood has kind of made it a trend to give us these the villain side of the story type of stuff, like malevolent and I think the earliest one I can remember is the 101 Dalmatians with Cruella, right? And they did a
you talking about the movie?
Yeah, remember they did a Cruella movie.
Yeah, that was
right?
really stupid.
And it was like the most pointless thing I had ever seen. Like I haven't seen the movie, just the fact that they did it, and it flopped. Of course, it didn't do very well.
Of course,
I don't think anybody really cared, right?
No, nobody. People.
I don't think anyone cared about Cruella Deville's origin.
No.
Nobody asked for that.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of where, at least, it might go further back, but that's where
I think Maleficent was before that.
Oh, you think so? Okay, so you think
Maleficent was definitely the first.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So
yeah,
and even then, I didn't care. It looked amazing, like the production, But once again, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't care. Like,
if you want to get technical, we have Wicked to blame for all this stuff. But
yeah, we do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Wicked is definitely a good example of that.
I think Wicked was the catalyst of this trend. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well, did Wicked preempt those two?
Yeah, it was a book. It was a book in the 90s. And
it was a book, but I'm talking about Hollywood adapting or telling these stories.
But it's the idea of
they definitely weren't first.
Creating,
right?
No, but it's the idea of creating a sympathetic villain out of an established character.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, what if the Wicked Witch wasn't wicked?
Yeah, and not only that, but it's not even canon to the original L. Frank Baum stories, right?
No.
So
what handled that aspect of the witches better was the Sam Raimi movie Oz the Great and Powerful. I don't know if you saw that with James.
I did remember that. Yeah, that actually was pretty decent. Yeah, and that was more from the perspective of Oz himself, right?
Yeah.
Like how he ended up in.
But the way the witches weren't. Like one of the witches wasn't evil at the beginning, but she became evil. But
that's right.
They tell it in a much better way than Wicked did, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I think you're right because I remember seeing that and thought like the movie wasn't as compelling to me as I hoped it would be, but it was a solid story. Like I think it was the same thing. Like a lot of people, I think generally, audiences was like, well, I don't care about the backstory of Oz. I don't know. I just think certain things just kind of should be left alone. Like I know there was based off of the novel, right?
When you try to over-explain everything about story, you're kind of demystifying it, and not everything needs to be demystified.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's part of it where it's like
it doesn't make you smarter questioning the animal hierarchy of the language. Right, it's just like you're not deep and philosophical for questioning why the Power Rangers take too long to morph. Right, just like it's not that big of a deal. Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's called suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, but I think that's a solid point that you're kind of losing the whatever made.
And this whole trend is a very, very leftist trend.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, it's but kind of part of what sparked it is this post. Um, Brian Jacques, is that how, is Jacques just Jacques, right?
Yes, Brian Jacques.
Explains why he does not have sympathetic villains in his Redwell series, and I believe his books were going to be adapted by Netflix. And then after I saw this, then I saw another a post saying that they're not going to do it now. They're not moving forward. So I don't
Oh, yeah, I
know
heard.
if it was triggered by this or if it was just going to happen regardless. Like
I
it
doubt
didn't
it.
make sense.
I'm sure it might be
But
a bit.
this is what he says. When I was a boy, morality was taught in school and in church, but I think that is no longer true to the extent that it used to be. I try to create very clear moral signposts of what is right and what is wrong. The children who read my books are generally at an age where they need to have things spelled out in black and white without ambiguity. I often tell my readers that my baddies are bad and my goodies are good. I won't have sympathetic baddies and schizophrenic goodies in my books. So, that's a pretty on the
And
nose, powerful
you
statement.
know,
Like,
there's
he doesn't mince his words, right?
there's a
Yeah.
subtle difference between having a sympathetic villain and having a, I guess, understandable villain. Like example,
Yeah.
let's take Mr. Freeze from Many Anime series, right?
Yes.
You understand him, but I mean, would you say he was sympathetic or no?
Well, he
I would
was.
say
The
yes,
problem is
he
that
is.
people mistake.
But he's not he's not redeemed though.
Yeah, that's
Right?
what I'm saying.
He's
People.
sympathetic in that you understand what he's trying to do. He has a motivation. He's trying to save his wife. But at the same time, you also understand he's not justified because his means and methods aren't justified
Mhm.
because it causes harm to others, right? So it's at the expense of innocence that he wants to save his wife. And that's where you understand he's a villain. He's still a villain. Even though I can sympathize with the reason why he's doing it, it's still what he's doing is still wrong.
Yeah.
People
And
mistake
that's
being
the problem is when there's a question of ambiguity
being
where it's not about you are objectively wrong regardless of the why. Now it's like you're not even objectively wrong. You
yeah.
just have a different viewpoint. Like you're kind of right too, and then you're kind of right, and it starts to get muddy where it's like, well, I guess he like just like the debate. Well, I don't even want to call it a debate, but the conversation around Thanos and the reason why he wanted to end half of all life in the galaxy is because there's not enough resources, and some people think that's logical, right? They think, oh, that makes sense, that's rational. It's like no, it's not. He's insane.
Yeah.
Right? It's like just make more resources, right? Why would you end life versus just create more life, right?
I mean, to be
Wouldn't
fair,
creating more life be better than ending life, right?
most of
It's
the
just
people who
nonsense.
agree with Thanos are already, nihilists and
Well, that's true. A lot of people are, yeah. So, but that's what it's like. It's like he's definitely not a sympathetic villain,
No.
and on top of that, he's objectively wrong. Like there is no. Well, I kind of see what he means. No, he's crazy. Right?
You can,
He's
by the way,
insane.
you can rest assured that the Netflix Chronicles of Narnia is going to make the White Witch sympathetic.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I have no doubt about that. I see even with the new Harry Potter series with Black Snape, and I that's going to be a train wreck in my opinion. I honestly don't think it's going to be very good
Yeah, I mean,
because they
they,
kicked it off with Black
they,
Snape.
they already gender swapped Aslan, so it's all downhill. From
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Yeah, it's all downhill. It's like what are they doing? They're just taking a sledgehammer in a china shop, right? They're just smashing everything. They don't care. But yeah, it's like there's no argument for evil, and it seems to be sort of a trend, I guess you could say. I mean, definitely over the last couple of decades, where we do see more villains that aren't really villains, right? They're just misunderstood, or And Wicked's a great example.
Mhm.
Where it's like the Wicked Witch of the West is, she was framed. It was all about optics, and even though a lot of stuff she did was objectively bad, and it's like even the power she wielded It's like, listen, don't wield the power because it's a monkey's paw, right? So even knowing it's a monkey's paw, she did it anyway, and it caused all these terrible consequences, right? It's like you haven't learned your lesson. Like, just don't wield the power. It's right. There's no good comes from it. Stop doing it, and it's all just selfish ambition. And then it's like, oh well, I'll just let them think I was wicked, so that I could go live with the scarecrow, whom I turned into a scarecrow. Yeah. It's like it's kind of wild. It's like, what are you talking about? Like this is insanity, So, but yeah, I mean, I'm with him on that. Like, and he makes a good point about when children are reading these books or watching these movies or TV shows, for that matter, it's important that there is a distinction between good and evil, right? They have to know where's the line, right? Where's the line between the two? Where does it start? Where does it stop? Because how else, it's understandable to say they should know about nuance, right? Yeah,
But the thing
nuance
is,
is
though, that a
important.
lot of the stuff is aimed at children,
Yes, right,
and that's
right.
the
And you're
problem.
and you're telling children that sometimes it's okay to steal. Sometimes it's okay to physically assault somebody because you're angry. Sometimes it's okay to lash out at the world. And yes, it's like, no, it's not okay
No,
to do
it's
those
not.
things. Right? There should be stealing is bad, lying is bad, right? Physically harming someone is bad. And then as they grow and develop into adults, we learn in the real world that, oh, but there's instances where it's called self defense when it's physical, right? When I have to deploy violence, right?
Yeah, but like a lot of the examples we've given, like Cruella and Maleficent and even Wicked, and even this new Cinderella movie that's
Yeah,
apparently
that's right.
trying to present the stepsisters as misunderstood, and they're actually nice and kind. All of these things are aimed
Yeah,
at
that's
children,
right.
right? So the problem
Yeah.
is they're confusing children as to what's right and what's wrong, and that's worse when it's with kids.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of which, yeah, it's called Steps, right? Animated, and it's her evil stepsisters who are actually depicted as kind and misunderstood. Here we go, right? Wicked Part Three, I guess, right? Yeah, no doubt they're banking on it, having that same appeal that Wicked has, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because to their credit, Wicked has been pretty successful. The movies aren't great. I saw the first one. It's okay. It's like, oh, it should have been a made for TV, or streaming type of thing. But it was still watchable.
I I
I
didn't
don't know
have
if
But
that would have
interest in
made
it
a difference
because
though.
I didn't have interest.
well, my point is that the quality of the storytelling was kind of like, yeah, this isn't really like a movie, big budget movie type of story. But visually, yeah, it's a spectacle. It's a beautiful movie. But the actual storytelling,
My
it's like, yeah, this is
my
like made for TV type of stuff. It's
my
it's not it's not on that level. You
my
know.
issue was the actors, like
Yeah, they were.
they're super creepy and weird, and then
Yeah, they were weird.
interviews in
Yeah,
interviews they were really creepy and weird with each
yeah,
other. Ugh.
yeah. Yeah. It's
It was
definitely.
really
I
bad.
don't know what the deal, and I don't
Are you talking
understand
about the
why.
actors themselves?
Yeah,
Yeah, Cynthia
Oh,
Erivo, right, and I forgot the other Ariana Grande,
Ariana
right?
Grande, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely anorexic or bulimic. They're one of those things, clearly. And their behavior
Was
with each
super,
other during these junkets and interviews is
super.
definitely creepy, right? It definitely got it. And the thing is, they got away with it because they're women, right? And they women tend to get dismissed when they're like it a lot of especially in the mainstream, they don't blink an eye. They just kind of pretend like it's normal, even though they know it's not.
And
You know,
also Cynthia, she, well, I mean, she looks like Nosferatu, by the way. I don't know. Have you seen the footage? But aside the fact
Right.
from me finding the fact that she played Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ,
Yeah, that's
like
right.
to be
Yeah,
incredibly
Yeah.
he
sexual.
played Jesus
It just
Christ and Jesus Christ Superstar
it
with the
Well,
stage play. Yeah.
it's funny you
it
mentioned
is.
Nosferatu because she did a play where she played Dracula, and
Oh,
it was all
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
So she
what's
did like a one person theatrical or play of Bram Stoker's
Oh, one man
Dracula.
show. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it was awful. It was everybody agreed it was terrible. She couldn't read her lines. She didn't. She couldn't. She forgot her lines on stage. Uh,
Oh,
you know,
so this was like way off Broadway, right? Like this wasn't a
I
real.
get. Oh, I mean, I guess it was Broadway. She just didn't belong there. Apparently, right? She just bit off more than she
Yeah,
could chew.
it's weird. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, the movie didn't have a lot. But see, what it had going for it was the fact that the books were wildly popular.
Yeah.
It was marketed like crazy, and they appealed to had a strong appeal to the theater crowd because the people that enjoyed the books went to see the live plays, right? The
Mhm.
actual plays, and they loved it. It's award winning, and all. So that same crowd went to the movie. Like so, it already had this sort of baked in fan base. People who are theater lovers, people who are musical lovers, people who went to saw it live already.
and
Read the book,
let's
so
face it. Let's face it. That group of people is very left leaning. Very left leaning.
yeah, for the most part, yeah, that's true. For some reason, when in the art space, and listen, I went to college. I studied studio arts and all that art, painting, drawing, sculpting, photography. I did all that stuff, and yeah, I was usually the only person who leaned conservative and who professed to even believe in God, let alone be a Christian.
Mhm.
Like in my entire class, right? Like that was like typical all throughout college. So yeah, for some reason in artistic spaces, it's majority, very progressive to very extreme left. Like it's that kind of spectrum.
Which,
Progressive.
which I think that's contributed to the idea that conservatives aren't creative.
Yeah, and that's not true, but yeah, it plays into that misconception, and it's unfortunate, and also a lot of creatives who are conservative, they don't go to art school. They don't go to they just kind of go out on their own and they build something or they do something and with their creativity.
And also, unfortunately, well, at least when it comes to Christian entertainment, uh, let's face it, most of it is bad. Most of it is bad. I'm sorry. Most of it is
Yeah,
really bad.
unfortunately, a lot of Christian entertainment is kind of lackluster. Um, Not all of it, but a lot of it. It's you know, like I said, a lot of it's made for TV.
Yeah.
It's lifetime
It's
network type stuff.
I've
It's not
actually
big
done.
blockbuster.
I've actually done a little bit of research on this, and it's a lot more. It's more on purpose than you would think it is.
Oh, really?
That's interesting. So,
They they purposely
well, I
they
think I know where you're going. Yeah, go ahead.
they purposely skimp out on production value, on acting, on good scripts, on all of that is on purpose.
Yeah, yeah. I
Why
think
do you
part
think
of
it's
it.
on purpose?
Uh,
Well, I have a theory.
Hmm.
And I think it's on purpose, not in the sense of it should be purposely bad, but that it should be purposely vanilla. You know, we can't be provocative. You know, in our production, we can't. We have to keep it very, in their minds, family friendly,
Right.
and that equates to very plain, very non-engaging content. And I think that's part of it is the fear of going too far, but also with some of the creators, I think it's just their own kind of in their own little bubble of
Right.
Christianity, where it's like, oh, we're not going there, we're doing this, and they see in their mind it's dynamic Christian ministry because it's a movie.
Yeah, because
But they don't integrate the concepts of Hollywood because there's good in Hollywood, right? When you look at how something is made and techniques and principles to go by, like it's Hollywood has it nailed. But in these Christian productions, I think they tend to shy away from some of that or like reject, throw out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak.
because
Right.
so the thing is that um in this kind of like Christian world, creativity and entertainment is seen as evil.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Hollywood is evil. Yeah.
Hollywood is evil. So by extension, everything having to do with the world of creativity or the arts, entertainment,
Yes.
or telling stories,
Unless it fits
all
into this,
specific
this
box.
little box, that doesn't have all the flash and glitz and glitter and glam of a major production, right? Of a quality, what we consider a quality production.
Mhm.
I mean, that
Just
doesn't
look
really
at
make a whole lot of sense though, because like my
no,
thing is that
but what I'm saying is it's not they're not like consciously saying this, like thinking this. It's just the way they process this creates that aversion. Does that make sense? Like you're not
yeah,
intentionally
it's
burning your hand, but you're saying I'm cold. Let me heat my hands up. Then it's over a flame, so you get burned. Like the intention isn't to get burned, right? That's kind of what I'm saying. They don't intend to make terrible movies. They intend to make a movie that
I think
uplifts the Bible
I
and Christ, but
I
they
think a lot of times
reject the
they,
things that will make it appealing.
well, I don't know. I heard some conspiracy about some ministry thing that it's more about the message, and they purposely overemphasize the message or the preachiness of something over
Yeah,
the value
that's
of
that's
the
what,
story.
that's what I'm saying, right?
well, I
They,
just I just think the
it's
problem is
it's
that they
almost the
don't.
inverse of woke content, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the message. It's not about production quality or storytelling or creating a compelling way to deliver the story. It's well, we want to make sure we're getting John 3:16 in there.
Yeah.
And it needs to be as plain as day. They can't be nuanced, they can't be subtlety. We can't trust the audience to figure it out. Do you
Well,
understand what I'm saying?
well, yeah, but that's the thing though. It's like I wouldn't contribute good. My thing is that the things that Hollywood gets weren't invented by Hollywood. It's basic things that you know storytellers have understood for centuries.
Yeah,
So it's
I
like
agree.
I think the
Well,
main
just read the
problem is that
Bible. It's full of great
yeah,
stories.
exactly. My thing
Like
is that I
the
don't.
way these stories are crafted. Yeah.
I just think
I mean,
that, and I think
by
we're
the way,
saying this.
yeah. Sorry,
I
sorry.
just think I just think that most of these people, and this is obviously a problem with non with I guess more liberal storytellers, is that these people just don't know how to tell a good story, and it's like you still need to the message is important, but it's like you said earlier, how you convey that message is equally important because everything involves storytelling. Selling a product when you're selling a product, you're telling a story, right? You're
Yes.
not.
Mhm.
It's not. It's like it's like it goes the same with morals, right?
Hmm.
And like people, a lot of the people who what's it called who make these Christian movies don't really understand that. Like, there's a
I
reason
disagree. I
why
disagree vehemently with you. I think
with
they
about
do.
what
Just they don't. They know how to tell good stories. They just don't because they're. Listen,
if they knew
But
how to
the
tell a good
thing,
story, they would.
no, seriously. Hear me out. Just think of the inverse, which is the woke nonsense, right? Like the acolyte.
Yeah.
Do you think the people part of the acolyte have no talent? No, of course they have
Well,
talent, right? The guys that did the Last Jedi. I forgot his name. Abrams, right? J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, he's very talented. He did Lost. He did one of my favorite sci-fi shows, Fringe. Like
oh my gosh,
really
thank you
talented.
for mentioning Fringe.
So
I love Fringe.
yeah, but Do you understand? These people are talented and they know how to tell a good story, but they chose not to. Why? Because they decided to put the message first and they decided to do the virtue signaling first. And it's the same principle in the Christian space. They're choosing to say, we want to preach the gospel through this movie. So that means we can't tell this compelling story that has all this nuance and all this kind of creativity. We just have to like give it to them plain, make it plain.
Right,
And
right.
they can do better, but they choose not to because they're putting the gospel first in their minds, right?
I get what you're saying, but the thing
that's all I'm
is
saying.
that
Like they do have talent. That's what I'm saying. These people have talent, but they're not using their talent, in my opinion, and I think in our opinion, in the right way, right? They're not executing it in the right way, So we're getting subpar results because they're not executing properly. They're saying, I'm not going to execute this way. I'm going to execute this. It's like a race car driver chooses to drive a Volvo, you know what I mean? A VW
right.
Bug.
But here's the thing, and I
Like,
think
well,
you
I
mentioned
want to obey the speed limit. It's like, well, you're on a racetrack though. You can't do that, right?
You mentioned before that it's like the gospel doesn't need your story. It's like
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
like
Yep.
so it's like just if you're gonna preach the gospel, preach the gospel. But if you're gonna make
they are preaching the gospel. They are. That's the point.
I know, but if you're gonna,
what you really want,
you don't need a movie to preach the gospel.
Well, that's the point. What you want to say is, don't make a
movie
movie to preach the gospel. Make a movie to tell a good story.
Yeah.
And then if you want to preach the gospel, don't preach the gospel. Go to a street corner. Go to the church. Go preach the gospel there. Yeah. If you're making a movie, tell a great story. Give us compelling characters. Give us great visual effects. Like tell a story. Make a great movie. And if you want to have a gospel message in that movie, that's fine. But make the story first. The story takes precedent. Tell a good story that draws in an audience.
Have any of you guys seen the David animated movie yet?
Yes.
We did. It was cool.
Yeah, it was really good.
We need
that. Solid picture. Yeah.
Yeah, we need that more. We
do, yeah, because it was very well done, well produced, well animated. It had great pacing. And like I said, I think I mentioned this to you before. I think they still held back a bit. Like you could tell they could have did more if they wanted to, but they wanted to keep it family friendly, and they probably didn't want to offend their core audience.
I think that had more to do with the fact that the entire story of David gets pretty non-child.
Yeah, that's part. Well, I didn't talk about the story. I just mean the story they told. They could have done even more elaborate, sequences and things like that. But they kept it.
I loved it. I really did. I was a little underwhelmed by the Goliath scene.
Yeah, really? That's one of the things I'm referring to. Yeah, like
I thought it was.
They even avoided the brutality of the scene, right, where he defeats Goliath, he chops his head off. Right, they did a great kind of shift with that, which I was good with.
About that, I'm talking about like I would have made the scene a little more actiony.
Yeah. I know.
I guess. Yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like, do you understand? Like, there's a lot they could have embellished more in a lot of parts of that story to make it just kind of more grander story that led to the the third act there. But they didn't. They kept it pretty tame, but they did it in a very compelling way. The music was beautiful. The production was overall just excellent. It really was. They fired on all cylinders. But even in that, I can see they were like, we're not gonna like add more to make it more than what it was.
But that there's the.
I mean, I think the scene was fine. I don't think they did.
It was fine. I'm not. This is not a criticism like to their detriment. This is me saying I see what you did, and I understand what you did and why you did it, and I also understand you could have did even more if you really wanted to. You could have, it's like a slam dunk can be just a basic jump and dunk, or it can be a Jordan stick out the tongue from the free throw line. It's still a dunk. So. Right? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a difference. They're both dunks. They both get the 2 points, but one is kind of like, well, I did my layup, my 2-step layup, and boom, right? Versus Jordan, right? That's all I'm saying. Would you rather watch Jordan dunk or me dunk on a little kitty. I mean, you understand? Like, there's a big difference, right? That's all I'm saying. They chose the safe 2-step layup dunk, right? And that works. It got the points. It put points on the board. But the Jordan dunk is going to put more butts in the seats, and it's going to guarantee a sequel.
I mean, what would have been a Jordan dunk if they showed blood and
no,
not necessarily. No, I just mean something that like you is pointing to more action, more fighting, more you could have had
there was fighting later on in the story.
Yeah, I mean to a point. Yeah.
But what I mean, I don't mean violence. I mean
you mean action. You mean something that's
swing his sword a few times and David dodges it. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's an actual. You actually felt like, oh man, like he might actually lose his battle, right? Yeah. Like that kind of thing. Like, and it kind of wasn't there. It was like, yeah, like if you're a Christian, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
but you still want to be kind of. Yeah, this is the thing. This is one thing I learned from playing sports, right? Is that even when the other team knows your play, you can if you execute that play like to a T, they can't stop it. And that's kind of how it is with storytelling too. Even though people may kind of know what's going to happen, if you execute that story in a way that's compelling, they're going to be like, yo, like I love it. Even though they knew the hero was going to win, they still love how he got there, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of what Hero Geek is pointing to. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's more compelling ways to get to that, to the end, right? Like, and they chose the less compelling way. Like, it was still good. Yeah. But it's like, man, they could have done a whole lot more to really get it where you're like, oh man, like, like you're rooting for David. Like you almost think maybe he's not going to make it, right? Like that kind of thing. And, that's all I'm saying. And they definitely avoided that. They were like, well, let's try to stick to the story. Because once again, they're prioritizing the message. You understand? And they don't want to they don't want to turn David into like Aladdin or something, like this hero, and he can, it's like, well, he was a hero, but he wasn't a perfect hero, right? You understand? Like there's a lot of nuance, especially when you understand scripture. You're like, we don't want to pedestalize. I'm not saying that right. Put them on a pedal. I'll say that.
Oh, pedestal. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like as Christians, we
don't want to idolize David.
Right. I think that's another sort of dynamic that's involved with Christian productions versus non-Christian productions that, and I don't mean productions by Christians. I mean productions that are decidedly Christian, meaning their sole purpose is we're telling a biblical story, so to speak, or a biblically based story, and the goal is the message, the gospel, Christ, right? And that's fine. I don't, inherently, there's nothing wrong with that. So my criticism isn't that you're telling the gospel message in a movie. Mm-hmm. My criticism is try to tell a great story, and that you're right. You don't need a movie to preach the gospel. It's great to have it in a movie, right? But you don't need the movie, right? You just preach the gospel. Just tell people. You know what I mean? But if you're going to make a movie, right? If you're participating in this race, just like the race car driver, if you want to drive on this racetrack, you need a race car, and you got to drive it fast. You can't come on the track in a Volvo 4-door sedan, and then think you're going to drive the speed limit, right? Like you're in the wrong space. You need to go somewhere else. But if you want to be in this space, and this space is basically entertainment, Hollywood, right? Movie theaters, movie audiences, then you have to come with your A game and say, okay, we're going to make the best movie that has a Christian message in it ever. Like, do you understand? We're going to tell the greatest story ever, right? And we're going to tell it in a way that's compelling and meaningful, and it's going to pull people in, and it's going to take you for a ride. It's going to leave you having these feelings all over the place, right? Ups and downs, highs, whatever. That should be the goal, just like with any secular movie, right? Their goal is to tell you the best story, to tell a story about whatever this is or that, or and that's what I mean. That has to be the case, and that hasn't been the case for a lot of stuff, right? So
I agree, but I agree. You have to put out something that could compete with other movies. But I still say
Well, I'm not even saying
I
to
do.
compete. I'm saying if you want to engage the audience, and the audience isn't just believers. The audience is anybody that sees your movie and thinks, "Hey, I want to see a good movie." That's what you have to do. You have to tell a
Well,
good
yeah,
story.
I'm just saying. I think the David movie did that just fine,
I
and
do too.
otherwise it wouldn't have made that much money. Like the with the Goliath thing is like my thing is that uh, I think like if they really held back, I feel like they wouldn't have made the especially the part where like the rock gets lodged in his head. Like that scene alone was pretty like intense for a kids movie. Like we watched him die and fall to the ground, and
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
and on top of that, it's like in terms of the action, it's like not all action looks the same, right? A
Okay.
samurai fight looks different than a cowboy standoff, right? And the
Yes.
David versus Goliath scene was a cowboy standoff, right? It wasn't
Okay.
like a big,
I mean, listen,
fisticuff thing.
you're defending a movie to people that love the movie. So
Yeah.
we're
Well,
not
I
we're
know,
not
but
we're not
you're
arguing against any
saying
of those things.
you're saying that they didn't. You're saying that it wasn't Michael Jordan slam dunk, and I'm saying it was a Kobe Bryant slam dunk. It was great.
Okay, fair enough. But
Yeah.
once again, would you rather watch Jordan dunk or
I'm
Kobe?
not. I'm not.
Hands
Most
down,
people would say
most people
Kobe.
are gonna no. Most people are gonna say Jordan. Period. Listen. It's Jordan's image on shoes. That's a whole other conversation. You know good and well. Even today, most people are gonna say, "I want to see Jordan
No,
dunk."
but I'm just saying,
If I
it's
had to
like
see one of them dunk again, I want to see Jordan.
no, I want to
Like
see Larry. I want
that's
to
just
see
hands
Larry
down.
Bird dunk. No,
See, no, I know that, right?
no, but I'm just saying,
But
I
no,
do. I
yeah, the
think,
movie's great. It's
yeah.
it's objectively great. It really is. I'm just saying, seeing it, I can tell. Like, yeah, they probably could have done way more, and I'm sure they're aware they could have done. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know they're watching it and they're producing. They're going, yeah, we could do this, but then they're like, no, we don't want to go too far. Like, we
I
don't want to
think what they
detract
did
too
was
much.
exactly what they needed to do. That's all I'm saying.
I know that's you just said the same thing. They did exactly what they needed to do. That's what I'm saying. They got it just to a point where it's like this is going to be a great
Well,
solid movie.
not in the
Families
sense
are
that
going to
it
love.
was.
It's going to get the message out, and that's what we want to do. But if they did any more, now they risk like in their minds probably convoluting the message or the people not getting the nuance, et cetera, et cetera. Right? That's all I'm saying. So they're like, we're going to make it solid, but we're not going to take it too far over the limit with the action and different things, right? And that's all I mean. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm
No, I
just
mean,
saying,
yeah, I get that
like,
part.
because they're one of the rare few that's been able to do something like that. Tell a biblical story and tell it in a very compelling way, where it's like, yeah, like audiences are going to see it and go, wow, this is really good. The animation's on point, the story's great, character development was wonderful, and yeah, it points to the Bible, right? Like, it doesn't get any better than that, right? So, to have a great movie, just like Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ, like objectively as a movie, it's a amazing movie, right? If you're into film, if you're a filmmaker, you're learning how to tell stories, learning how to make films. That's one of the movies you should watch, right?
Yeah.
It's just objectively good. Then on top of that, it's a story about the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. The gospel is in the movie.
Have you guys seen The Chosen?
No, I haven't watched
No?
Chosen. Yeah, that's the series, right?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Pretty great.
I have friends at church who watched it. I'm a little cautious. I mean, my thing is the best way to learn about Jesus is to just read the Gospels. I don't know about
All right,
watching a
man.
TV show.
That's
Listen,
fair.
no, because here's the thing. It's like there's so many because here's the thing. I grew up with like animated cartoons about Jesus, and those were okay, but a lot of them were like, Scruffy meets Jesus Christ before he goes on the cross, and it's about a talking dog. You know what I mean? It's just like what are we doing?
No.
This is a real thing. It's like
Yeah,
people
I've seen.
try to secularize the gospel.
I mean, like the little drummer boy and the birth of Christ. Right?
Well, here's the thing: the little drummer boy was
It's the same thing. He's a little drummer boy. He has no gift for the Lord. What can he has his drum to play, right? He played him a
right.
song.
But here's the thing:
Okay.
it was done in a tasteful way. It wasn't. It was. I don't know.
Well, it's a way to tell the story of the birth of Jesus through the lens of an external character, like the drummer.
Right, but it's not a talking dog. That's my point. Who travels in time?
So as long as it's not a talking animal, it's okay. There were talking animals in the story.
You're missing my point. You're missing the point. It's like they're trying to. It's a like the little drum boy.
I mean, for me, it has more to do with the intent. I can forgive a lot of those things as long as it's done well with a reverence and respect for Jesus.
I agree. Exactly.
Well, yeah, it can be done well. I'm just saying a lot of times.
At the end of the day, tell a good story, right? That's really it. Like just because it has Jesus in it doesn't automatically make it a good story. Like
no, it doesn't.
No, but I would recommend The Chosen if you ever want to check it out. I think it's
okay. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. I just haven't taken the time to watch it.
It's the kind of show that I had a hard time watching an episode and not crying.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good. Like it's pretty.
It's pretty powerful.
Intense. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. It's no Ten Commandments.
I love that.
I'm kidding. But yeah,
But yeah, my thing is that it's just a lot of people don't do it in a tasteful way, and they try to like make it into something that's like, I don't know, they try to turn into something that's like marketable or like, I don't know, they try to dumb it down.
I mean, yeah, you have examples like the Noah movie or the Exodus Gods and Kings movie. Those were horrible.
Yeah, those.
I think I remember what you're talking about. Is that with the Russell Crowe or whatever?
The Noah movie was Russell Crowe, and then the other.
That was a terrible.
I never saw that.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? It's a biblical story, but some.
Well, those movies actively try to skirt around or downplay.
Well, it subverted the biblical story by adding in extra biblical elements from other non-biblical writings.
Like the Exodus,
and that's why it was so different.
In the Exodus movie, they presented it was the interpretation of the Moses story. They interpreted the plagues as natural events. They didn't present it as coincidences, as just nature being nature. They didn't present it as miracles from God.
Yeah,
doesn't that defeat the purpose of it being that defeats the purpose?
It does.
Yeah, but the whole point was to subvert the Bible and subvert the gospel message by telling these what's called Gnostic stories, right? So that's really what was happening with those movies. They're because what the Gnostics do is they take the biblical message and they turn it on its ear and make it into this sort of naturalistic expression of miracles, and it's just acts of nature, and that we're it ultimately points back to us being God or being like God, but it's outside of Christ and outside of the gospel. So and that's what they were trying to do with those movies, is subvert the gospel message and subvert biblical stories that we understand as Christians to be true and historical, and turn it into something else. And they know that secular audiences, people who are non-Christian, are going to go watch these and think, oh, these must be like, it just helps further reinforce the idea that the Bible isn't real history, right? That it's actually just fairy tales and different things. And what about these other writings? And and that's really the goal, in my opinion. And I'm glad they failed insofar as the movies themselves, they did terrible at the box office. They were not critically acclaimed. They were trash. They really were. Like they were terrible movies. And listen, I like movies, and I don't even have a problem with them taking a biblical story and twisting it around into something else. At least tell a good story. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes out to the same thing. Like these stories were objectively bad. Like they were not well produced or well acted. The production quality was so. They just weren't great movies. Period. And then on top of that, they're subverting actual historical events in the Bible and then trying to turn it into something else. That makes it even more egregious, right?
So Afrocentric brings up a good point here. Another reason why I've been reluctant about The Chosen. Yeah, the biggest criticism
really?
about The Chosen is how far one embellishes on the Passion story. Also, they made a Chosen Bible. I think you could watch knowing it isn't replacing Scripture is fine. But yeah, they made a Bible based off of the script from the show, which is like that's not the Bible.
I didn't know that.
No,
what I heard is that a lot of the dialogue is somewhat contemporary, right? It's not like actual biblical language.
Is, but like
okay.
I don't know. I found the show.
Well,
really
they're not saying Riz and swag or anything, but yeah, it's it's definitely
let's hope not.
Yeah,
but I do remember. I think I saw a clip of it. I think it was when I went to church with my youngest. They played a clip of it.
They did, yeah, they did.
They were speaking like very kind of contemporary. They weren't. It wasn't thee and thou, and that type of thing. So I was like, okay. I mean, that's not.
That in and of itself isn't terrible, but at the same
fine
time,
scene. I think it was the scene with Nicodemus. I think that's what we watched.
Yeah, it was. It was the scene with Nicodemus.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like people are watching the show and like saying, "Oh yeah, I read the Bible or I know the story of Jesus Christ," and that's not how that works.
I hope that's not happening. If anything, ultimately, if you're going to do movies about biblical stories, right, biblical accounts, the goal should be to point people to the Bible, right, and say, go read the actual scriptures to get your own understanding. This is for entertainment purposes and to pull you in a little bit and get you curious and maybe expose some things about these passages that maybe you didn't realize, right? And also ultimately it's entertainment. So go to the Bible to read, to find out about the Bible, right? Like if they're not hard to come by, go to any motel. It's right there on the stand. And, apparently they're free because people take them all the time. So you can get a Bible, like, especially here in America. Thank God, you get Bibles easy.
Did you guys hear that the new leader of TPUSA said that something about the Lord Tolkien, Lord of the Rings?
Oh yeah, the Lord of the Rings is not a Christian story. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
really, he said that.
He said.
I mean,
well, what's the context? I don't want to just jump on them if there was a context like we just said. The Chosen is not the Bible. That's true, even though it's about the Bible, right? So is he saying Tolkien's writings aren't scripture? Like they're not.
From what I remember, because I remember watching a video about that. If I remember correctly, he's saying that the story of the Lord of the Rings isn't based off of anything biblical. Even though when you actually look at Tolkien's life and his inspiration for writing things and his letters to the...
Well, okay, I'm trying to give him a lot of leeway here. Is he saying it's not based on actual biblical stories? Meaning there's no biblical stories in the Lord of the Rings. Like the story itself is not a biblical, like it's not the story of David. It's not the story of Moses.
Obviously it's not
right.
That,
it's a wholly fantastical story that he made up, and it has Christian principles in it, right? The idea of good versus evil, etc. Right? Like it has that in it, but it's not like Tolkien's writings are not biblical writings. Meaning they're not based on biblical stories, right? Like the story of I don't know, Gideon. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean,
like he's not reinterpreting Gideon or
right,
the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Like that's what
I
is
think
that what he meant, or is he saying something else? I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
I think he'd have to be pretty stupid to come at it from that angle.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's kind of wondering, like, because saying that it's not biblical, it's like, well, there's definitely biblical principles all throughout the story.
He's saying that there isn't that. He's saying.
I mean, that's undeniable.
Yeah.
So
here's the thing: you could understand the story of the Lord of the Rings if you're not a Christian, right?
Of course,
obviously. But the story and the concepts in Lord of the Rings are steeped in they're steeped in Christian and Catholic theology, right? Of redemption, sacrifice, providence,
yes.
Good and evil,
principles
right?
and themes are definitely extrapolated from the Christian dynamic, right? From biblical world.
Much like most of the great stories of the Western lexicon, right? And even Asian stories as well. But like it's like the themes of the story are fundamentally Christian, but you don't have to be a Christian to understand those themes or anything like that.
Right, because
or to enjoy Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they're universal themes of good and evil, bravery, courage, cowardice, all the things that, as humans throughout history, we've encountered and gone through and experienced and witnessed and come to be acclimated to, right? So, yeah, I agree. And that's what I'm wondering. Like, that is a strange statement to make.
It's definitely not allegorical, like in the sense like Chronicles of Narnia is allegorical.
Well, it's definitely allegorical. I mean,
well, not really. Like, like for example,
all of it's allegory.
Well, not.
I mean,
not
that
really.
was based on historical events.
No. I'm talking about in the religious sense. Like for example, like in the Chronicles of Narnia, Aslan is a clear allegory or stand-in for Christ.
Yeah,
but there is no there is no allegorical stand-in for Christ.
Okay, so maybe.
Well, I would disagree. I mean, wouldn't it be Frodo and Sam?
No,
right?
no, because they're not bad people, but they're not Christ-like. That's the thing. It's like allegory isn't just like.
You don't think being sacrificial is Christ-like?
No, that's not my. That's what I'm saying.
Or what about Sauron? He's definitely represents Satan and evil, the accuser. Tempting people to give into their basis of instincts to rule and have power and be greedy.
Right.
So that's an allegory for Satan and for temptation and evil and sin.
Well, that's true. But I would say
so it is allegorical. It's not allegorical in the exact same way as Narnia, but it is allegorical in the sense of having Christian concepts and themes throughout the story.
Hello, am I muted?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, maybe Lord of the Rings is a little more subtle than Chronicles of Narnia.
That definitely
is. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say
I would agree with that. It's not as on the nose because it's exercising the Christian dynamic through allegory, right? By having an adventure, right? And through the adventure, you see the principles and themes of Scripture and of the gospel, right? And Christendom in general, played out through the characters, right? We see bravery and courage. We also see sacrifice and love, right? And camaraderie, just like we see in Scriptures in relation to the 12 disciples, right? In relation to Paul, right? And Peter and Timothy. And you understand what I'm saying? Like, they went out into the world and preached the gospel, literally, right? In a sense, that's what our Fellowship of the Ring was. And, going out into the world with the ring to vanquish evil, right? You understand? And through that, they had all these exploits of heroism. And that heroism bled out to other people and other groups and inspired the rest of, the world, right? So,
right.
And they had a last stand against evil, right? To allow Frodo, the hobbits to get to the mountain and destroy the ring. And then Frodo gave in to temptation at the last minute, right? When he was needed most, right? He gave in to temptation, but thank God for Sam, right?
Yeah.
You understand? Like, and Sam was with him all the way. That's devotion. That's loyalty, right? Do you understand? That's keeping the faith, right?
Yeah.
That's taking the straight and narrow path, right? That's running the race, right? That's set before us, as Paul writes about, right?
Yeah.
So that's all allegorical to biblical principles and themes. That's the point of the stories, right? Like that's the Hobbit. That's Lord of the Rings, and yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a very different type of allegory being told compared to Narnia. Narnia is a little more on the nose, right? Because he uses actual figures that are kind of stand-ins for biblical characters such as Jesus Christ, right? And you understand what I mean? Like so, and obviously he has a stand-in for the death and resurrection and all that kind of stuff. So just different, kind of doing the same things, but doing it in a very, very different way. But to deny that they're not influenced by the Bible or a biblical worldview is, I mean, it's just not true. It's period.
Really, it's really ignorant.
Incredible. Yeah. Just look at the men themselves, and their lives and what they professed in real life versus even compared to their stories. You see, they were definitely influenced by their faith and their belief in Christ. So,
I think it was a ignorant thing for him to say. Honestly,
yeah, that's why I was trying to give him the benefit of a doubt. Like, well, maybe he was saying it in a different in some kind of context, So, before I dismiss them all.
No, yeah, I understand.
I give him a chance because I didn't hear it. I haven't read it or heard. So
I heard about it a while back, but I had just dismissed it because I was like, yeah, that's stupid. It's like, what are you talking
on
about?
its face, yeah, that's absurd. It's like no, it is.
It's a dumb take. It's a dumb take.
Yeah, it is. It's a bad take.
Bad
So. But yeah, that's kind of wild. Speaking of bad takes, I wanted to bring something up that was kind of interesting, and it goes back to, I guess, it kind of segues from the idea of, artists, writers, authors who have sympathetic villains and why they have it, but it clearly it matters who the author is in relation to the story, right? Meaning, just as C.S. Lewis had an abiding faith that dictated the kind of stories he wrote, right? And we get the Chronicles of Narnia, etc. And the same with Tolkien, right? So clearly, who the author is or was affects the story, right? Now, does it affect whether or not you enjoy the story? Like, if we found out definitive proof that J.R.R. Tolkien was not a believer, he was not a Catholic, he didn't believe in God, he was a deist, or I don't know, you understand? Like, he completely denied the resurrection, all that stuff. Would that diminish his story? Right?
No, not at all.
Lord of the Rings, null and void. Like, don't want it, don't care about it anymore. Does that change the principles and the themes that we see played out in the story? If the author himself, you find out he didn't believe any of that, it was just all just made up.
Well, no, I don't think that would change the quality of the story. And also, I think one thing that's important to know is that people always write what they know, and
True.
It's like if what's his name, Tolkien didn't believe any of those things, he wouldn't write Lord of the Rings. And even
Maybe we don't
if
know
he was
that.
disillusioned, well, here's the thing. Well, that's what I was going to bring up. Is one of my favorite books of all time. You already know it is Don Quixote de la Mancha. It's the best book ever written. No notes. It's funny and it's very critique. There's a lot of critique on the contemporary society of his age, which is like 16th, 17th century, whatever, uh, and the glorification of chivalry and stuff like that. Don Quixote was someone he was, or not Don Quixote, Miguel de Cervantes was the real life Don Quixote. He was a soldier. He was an actual soldier. He was a POW. He lived the life that Don Quixote dreamed about. But because of that, because of his real life experience as a soldier, he became disillusioned with chivalry, which is why he wrote Don Quixote de la Mancha. But even in spite his disillusion, he couldn't help but provide a glimmer of hope in that story, right? Because and you see it more so in the play about how even though Don Quixote is this delusional person, uh, his adventures have real life impacts and
Yeah.
inspiration to other people, right?
Right.
Um, and even in the last book that he wrote before he died, Miguel de Cervantes, basically flips Don Quixote on its head, where it's like, oh hey, actually chivalry is great, you know. So even he couldn't help but to go back and believe in those values that he became so disillusioned about.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
get exactly what you're saying.
uh, people write what they know, and even though like life may take you on these different, you know, life like your journey through life may be complicated, but it's like you're the things that you believe in, they tend to at a certain point, like your values
They
kind of
if if you truly believe them, they reestablish themselves in your life. Yes.
exactly. Thank you. Excuse me. But yeah, and so and I think Miguel de Cervantes is proof of that, and you see it in his writings, like
So
even
what
the
you're
Don
saying,
Quixote. Yeah,
you're saying that even if it came out that Tolkien never believed in this or anything, I would say yes, he did. Even if he said he didn't,
yeah.
deep down inside, he still did.
Yeah. Yeah. You
It's
can definitely
it's
draw that conclusion, right? But and that's the thing though, is even the author's intent, the author cannot control how his stories are received.
yeah,
Right. So if
absolutely.
you write a story, it's like Ron Swanson. I always love pointing to that in Parks and Rec. Right, he was one of my favorite characters because he was libertarian, and he carried out libertarian logic to its greatest end. Right, like he was wholly and completely libertarian. And while he started off to be a character that made fun of conservatives and libertarians, he actually became a sort of mascot, right? Because
Yeah,
and he got they memed the crap out of it, right? Because in the minds of the writers, they're making fun of conservatives and libertarians. But in the reality, as we're watching it, we're going, yeah, he's right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's great. Yeah. And he became a favorite character, which they didn't expect. They didn't expect him to be a favorite in the way that he did. And the
Oh
actor
yeah,
himself is not conservative or libertarian. He's very
no,
liberal. So it's like you don't have to believe in the things that you portray, right? Whether you write about it or you're acting, whatever, right? For people to go, yes, that's right. Like you can accidentally be right without intending to be right, and that's what's like
I
kind of
mean,
funny. I
see
basically
Rorschach.
I agree with what your points, but I'm just saying like it's just funny, and the reason why I bring it up is because there's been a recent controversy on I guess on YouTube in regards to a channel called Comics Explained. Um,
Hmm.
the channel,
Oh, I know all about this. A little
yeah,
bit
his name's
about it.
Rob. Yeah, and he tends to be. I think he's definitely more progressive. I don't think he's far left or anything. He's definitely just progressive liberal.
Yeah, yeah.
And really, I kind of hesitate to even say that. I think he's just someone who's kind of middle of the
He's just
road.
a normal person. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a normal person. Like I don't see him as an extreme either way, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
And while I don't agree with all of his expressed points of view, and there are points of views expressed over the years, because I've followed him for a few years now, that I'm like, yeah, I don't agree with that. But generally, I like the guy and I respect him. He's a great, he does a great job with his channel. He does a great job of introducing people to comics. He got me reading Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four, which I actually really enjoyed. So I'm happy I
okay.
caught, you know. So he's great when it comes to comics, comic reviews. Just explaining comics and the continuities and all that stuff. He's awesome. And so he's been criticized for being a quote unquote sellout to black people because I think over the years
What?
he's agreed with channels like Nerdrotic or something or Critical Drinker, and they've come under fire themselves, being accused of all kinds of stuff, including being racist and homophobic and all this nonsense. So because of that, because he happened to agree with one or 2 points from these guys, like he's not like, oh, I'm buddies with these guys, or he's never been on their channels, they've never been on his channel. As far as they don't even really know each other. But because he happened to say something or just agree with something that was said, now he's selling out black people, right? And then recently,
well, what did he say?
I'm not sure. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I remember he did a live stream where he, kind of defended himself, and just expressed that, yeah, I have views that fall kind of all over the place. I don't think it's a big deal. And I didn't even watch it all because I thought, well, this is silly. I don't even think you should respond. But, because I'm like, it's not going to make me not watch his channel. I could care less if he likes Nerdrotic or whoever else. It's like the silliest thing. But then recently I was made aware of, apparently, according to Rob, right, someone approached him and said, hey, because you have all this clout, because he has a big channel. I think he has over 1 million subscribers, right?
Okay.
Maybe you can use that to highlight some of the more indie comics, right, instead of the mainstream comics. And he's like, okay, so he picked the antagonist, right?
Okay.
And the antagonist is an indie comic. I believe it's about a family of superheroes they're kind of anti-superheroes, I think, anti-heroes maybe. And they end up fighting against the government because the government comes.
Yeah, there were. I remember. I've read some of the antagonists. They're basically. They're like it's like the Anti-Incredibles. They're
it's kind of interesting.
Were heroes that became villains in the eyes of
but they're villains kind of for the right reasons, like against the government, I think, because the government is corrupt. So they're kind of pushing, fighting back basically. So it's like, okay, this is interesting. And I've been following this for a while and checking it out. And the art's always really great. And it's a great series from Godhood Comics.
Yeah, it looks cool.
But apparently, Tyler Martin himself, the creator and writer, and I believe the artist also, but apparently he leans more conservative. He's a black conservative. So now all of a sudden, it's a problem that he reviewed his comic series, which he gave it a generally positive review. So so now he's under fire because he reviewed a comic creator's work, and that creator happens to be not liberal, basically, right? But
what does that mean, though? What does it mean? Because people put labels on this stuff all the time.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I just found out about it, and I haven't delved into it because generally these kind of things I don't think is worth the energy. I think it's dumb.
I mean, it's not a big issue.
It's like nobody does that on the flip, right? Nobody really does that when you're supposedly pro-black or whatever. Nobody's like telling other creators not to interact with you or not to review your stuff, right? You just let them be, right?
Right, because you have the right opinions.
I've supported creators who are quote unquote pro-black or whatever, just because the work they're doing is still objectively good. Like you look at their stuff, that's really good. I don't care if their politics don't align with mine, but they're doing work that's visually compelling, and the story is actually good.
It was like that.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mark Waid is like that for me. I can't stand Mark Waid.
That's an excellent example. Yeah, Mark Waid. Exactly. It's like, but he is talented, right? That's what I was saying, making the point earlier. Like, you can't just dismiss people and say they're not talented just because they hold a different political worldview. Because you look at their work and it's like, yeah, they are talented. They can do good work. It's just they're making either they're making choices personally that you don't agree with, or they're putting their belief system into the work, which seems to diminish the work. That's from what we've seen, right? And it's like, yeah, don't do that because you're diminishing the quality of your work, right? But you do have the talent to produce objectively good work, And that's really the problem. The problem isn't, you know, just the fact that the message is there. It's the fact that you're just producing, you know, low quality work. And but
Right.
here, you know, this guy, like I don't know what his political views are, and I never thought to even ask or care because I'm looking at his body work and going, yeah, that looks awesome.
It's because people care about the
It
perception
matter.
of, or no, of course not. Of course, it doesn't matter. But people care too much about the perception of morality, but they have no actual morals. So as long
Also,
as they perceive to be they're perceived to be, you know, quote unquote on the right side of history, that's all that really matters to them. They don't actually care about good storytelling. They just care about supporting the right think, right?
Yeah,
Uh, which is ironic because I was another example I was going to bring up was George Orwell, right? Because in real life he was definitely opposed to totalitarianism, but he was in favor of you know, what he considered democratic socialism. But
yeah,
if
which is
you if yeah, but if you read all of his books, he clearly does not like socialism at all.
right.
And
yeah.
if you were to look at society today, or you know, talk to, you know, socialists today who claim to be democratic socialists, he'd think they were crazy. So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, people don't care about uh, a lot of the people mad about this don't actually, they're not real comic book fans. They're just people who
Well, I wouldn't
care
say that.
about.
I would say, yeah, their priorities are definitely misplaced, right? You know, they are. It's like if you're worried about if someone checked the box for Democrat or Republican, you know, when they voted last year, or like, what are you doing?
Well, okay,
Why
so
why do you
there,
think that
there,
makes
there
a
there's
difference
a
right
difference.
now?
There's a difference between just whoever they happen to vote for and them going on social media and attacking people who voted for Trump. Mark Wade's done that, even though I like his
Yeah,
work.
I agree. Yeah, but see, that's the point I'm making though. It's like that's a big difference, right? But this guy hasn't done that,
Uh, okay.
right? He's probably just made some comments online, or he liked a post. You understand? Like, as far as I know, and I've been, like I said, I've been following this for a while. I'm like, I've never seen him comment like that. So, but it's like Eric July. Like Eric July has made his stances known politically, right? And it's like, okay, so the backlash he may get, it's like, well, you're putting it out there, so you know, you got to expect some pushback.
I
But
mean,
at
I
the end
think
of
he
the day,
understands that though.
I know
Yeah,
he definitely does. All right, that's what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, though, it's like, but just look at his stuff and go, yeah, I think his stuff is good, right? I'm going to read like, and most people who are probably buying his stuff, along with Tyler Martin's, right? It's like they probably don't even think about this. They're just going, oh, that looks awesome. Let me go and check it out. Like that's it. That's most people, right? So a
yeah,
lot of this stuff is exclusive to the online space, you know, and it's a very strange phenomenon. That's why I think creators like Rob, like you know, Comics Explain, I think you should just ignore this stuff. Like I don't think you should address it, right? But I think there's this stigma, especially with Black people, that you have to prove that you're down or that you're Black or that you're
yeah.
you don't want your Black card
uh,
revoked. Like a lot of Black people think there really is a Black card. It's like there is no Black card. It's
yeah, I mean,
just a
a lot
free
of
money.
people think
Just
Wakanda's
like
real
there's
too.
no man card, right? There's no man card. If you're born male, you're a man. Now, if you act like a man, that's another story, right? But you know, when someone says your man card is revoked, it means nothing. Like your penis isn't going to fall off or something, right? Like you know,
Yeah.
it's the same if you're Black. Like you're not going to turn white all of a sudden if someone says your Black card is revoked. You're not invited to the cookout. All this other stuff. Like they're meant to be like just tongue in cheek jokes, right? They're not meant to be real. Like
Well,
we
I mean,
really.
some people take that stuff seriously for no
I know that.
reason.
That's why I'm saying it. Like some people think this is real stuff, and it's not real, right? your thinking is in La La Land, right? In reality, there are people who happen to be black that actually didn't vote for Obama, right? Who they're not
Yeah.
down with the cause or whatever that cause may be, right? They're just living their lives and doing the best they can, right? Like it's like you got to get out of this. I don't know what it is. It's just weird,
That's
you
not
know.
enough, Dad. You got to glue yourself to the Mona Lisa and shout.
I know that's what, it's like.
Power
You
to
want to be
people.
associated with wackos like that? That's your business. I choose not to be, right? So, but it's like it's kind of crazy. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring it up because I'm like, yeah, Comics Explained doesn't owe anyone any explanation for what he may believe in his personal private life. You know, that's your business. You know, and you don't owe anybody. You don't even owe your followers that, right? Because they're not following you because they think you believe something that they happen to. You know, if they do, that's their problem, not yours,
Yeah.
right? Just keep doing what you're doing, which is talking about comics, right? Like that's it. Like that's what built your channel. That's what's going to keep it going. Is that you talk about comics, right? And I think some of these creators need to be reminded, like, yeah, you know, don't give in to these nonsensical accusations. And people are making videos. I've seen videos from other content creators bashing this guy, bashing his channel, calling him a sellout. And it's like it's all for
Because
clout.
he
It's all
reviewed a comic book.
yeah, and because and before because they claimed he's supporting white supremacists, you know, whatever, homophobes. It's like, listen, these people they're making videos for clout and clicks and views because people like controversy for some
Yeah.
reason. It sell, and that's really that's why I'm saying he should just ignore it. You know, unless he wants some clicks and views, I guess. You know, maybe that's why he did it. But it's like it's just silly. It's foolishness. You know, it'd be nice to get back to like actual entertaining content, not just controversial nonsense. You know,
You
that's
know, you say that, but even the most wholesome, non-controversial thing, people will try to put controversy on it. You know,
I know. Yeah.
case in point, Super Mario Galaxy. Did you know that it supports the Manosphere for
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
somehow?
Apparently, yeah.
Like,
Apparently,
what is
Mario's red pill. Yeah.
yeah,
That's one of the. He's red mushroom. That's what it is. Red mushroom, not red
yeah.
pill.
Like, what are you talking about? Like
Yeah.
people
It's
will just find stuff to get mad at.
well. See, and that's part of to me. I see that as part of this mainstream push to demonize men in general and the manosphere and specifically and red pill especially because it has taken notice, right? A lot of men, especially young men, are engaged with it, right? They watch a lot of these influencers. And I'm not even talking about uh, Andrew Tate. I'm not even talking about him or some of the more extreme guys. I'm talking about just regular moderate YouTubers who talk about issues that men care about, especially young men, and that's a threat to a system that is highly misandrous, and a media system that's highly misandrous. And that's why you have a Grace Randolph who, and I think I mentioned this right before that I don't even think she's like thinking for herself. I think her
Yeah,
producers or handlers are like, hey, you got to
she's being
mention this
paid to be
buzz term.
willfully ignorant.
Yeah, this buzz term called red pill. You got to say it, work it in your monologue somehow, because it's going to get clicks and all this stuff. And that's what she did, and not even really understanding what she's saying or the significance of it, and she's already very liberal and definitely very feminist,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's like it's like easy to latch onto that and go, oh yeah, you're right. I should bring that up, right? And that's all it is. It's like to get you to click on her video, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Get you to click on it, to share it, to like it, to clip it, all that stuff. That's all it is, and it feeds into a narrative that they're trying to create, right?
Yeah, I'll tell
And
you right now, as someone who actually watched the Super Mario Galaxy, at no point did I think to myself, man, I hate women now. It's like that's not how that works. And on top of that, it's
watch
like there's
Mario and hate
nothing.
women. watch Mario today, hate women tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's like how does that's impossible. It's Super Mario Brothers.
Well, not only that, but if you actually watch the movie, it's as far from Red Pill.
Yeah.
Like majority of the story was about Princess
Peach. Yeah.
Yeah, it was about her and Mario. You know, I don't want to say simping. You know, he wasn't really simping, but it was just Mario. Like, hey, we got to go help Peach rescue her sister, right? And that was it. And they did. And
that's literally
it's not even like there's literally nothing
it's
in
like
the movie.
What little plot there was, nothing about it was
like that where you go Mario's a simp or Peach is an angry woman. You know, like there's nothing like that. It's the most vanilla, pure, family friendly movie, and it's fun. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was great to see all the
Sonic
Easter eggs.
Still better,
your favorite characters.
I was gonna watch it last weekend. I still want to watch it. I just haven't gone yet, but I do really want to.
It's worth a watch. It's fun. Yeah, it's a fun movie.
I'll be honest. I wasn't planning on watching it, not because I didn't think I would enjoy it. I knew I was going to enjoy it.
Yeah, we had to force him to watch it. I had to kidnap him. You know, we pull up in a big van and threw him in.
Well, I literally only watched it because of all the backlash it was getting, like all this like complete nonsense.
Yeah, it was. But see, I told you what my theory is, though, right? Remember, I told you my theory, right? Like I think Disney might be behind the bad critics.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past it.
Because Illumination is their competition. They bagged a huge IP with Nintendo, like huge. Nintendo's huge. I kind of wonder if Nintendo realizes how huge they actually are.
Oh yeah, they do.
When it comes to IP, because them partnering with and I suspect that behind the scenes Nintendo rejected Disney, right? Like they didn't want Disney because they see what Disney is doing to these other IP.
It wasn't like Nintendo. It wasn't Nintendo that rejected. It was Shigeru Miyamoto that rejected.
Yeah, right. That's right. But yeah, we talked about it.
Let's be real.
Probably like no, thank you.
Yeah. Even when he's not in charge, he's got a lot of sway. Any Nintendo fan knows.
So Illumination's here, and they got some bangers, right? Despicable Me and the Minions. They've done some great stuff. They have a great track record. No wokeness, no controversial nonsense. It's all like pretty decent family movies. And so that aligns well with Nintendo's brand. So it makes sense. They go, yeah, we're going to go with Illumination, right? And first Mario movie, out the box, right? It was just sky's the limit, like bangers. And so now it's like, oh, we got to do something to kind of stop them in their tracks, right? So they influence these critics to come on and say, oh, this movie has no story. This movie, not all of them. I'm not saying everyone. I'm just saying it's kind of suspicious, Well, and because I watched the movie and it's like there is a story, right? It's not a typical 3-act story, but it's there. And if you're someone who appreciates Super Mario Brothers and appreciates the lore, and especially if you played the games at all, you've played, you're not going to have a problem with this movie. You're going to watch it and go, okay, this was fun, this was cool. You're not going to take it too seriously. You're not going to go, oh, there's no story, there's no character development.
I think both of those things are fair criticisms towards the movie. That being said, but it didn't make me hate the movie. It also didn't make me stab myself with a
right. That's what I'm saying.
This is the thing. It's not even the fact that people are criticizing it for having no story. It's the fact that people were critics were claiming that this was the death of cinema. Somehow Mario
right. It's so extreme. That's what I'm talking about.
Not Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. So not yes, exactly. Not Buzz Lightyear. That wasn't the death of cinema, even though it was a garbage movie, right?
Not Hoppers.
Even though you took a beloved character and completely destroyed it.
Not any of the slot Disney's been putting out.
Yeah, not the Marvels, right?
It's just been misunderstood.
That's not the death of cinema, right? The Marvels is a dumpster fire.
This is the one time where they actually don't blame the they do blame the audience, but the one time they don't blame the audience on the movie, right? Is Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh, they'll blame the audience on the success of the movie. this artist
This
isn't
movie's
gonna
gonna make $1 billion and it sucks. Like, shut
and it
up.
sucks. Yeah, they will.
All right.
And it will make $1 billion. And you know what? That's great.
You guys are really really bad, like Sympathetic and whatnot.
Oh, are we coming in bad?
Let's
How
say it
about
again.
now?
You were
Okay.
for a lot of what for the last like 2-3 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Oh, what's going on? Yeah, so internet's just been kind of wild. Been kind of all over the place.
Well, I do have to go now, guys. Though,
oh, no worries.
I gotta get
Hero
going.
Geek. I appreciate
All
you
right.
stopping by.
Thanks for joining us again. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. I appreciate it.
All right, not a problem, man. It's always a pleasure, guys.
Absolutely.
Be safe. Have a good day.
Take care.
All right, thank you. Bye.
But yeah,
But yeah,
feel free to let us know if we our mics come out.
yeah, let us know if you can hear us. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on with the mics. We always have mic troubles. It's very strange.
It's not the end of the world, but yeah, let us know what you guys thought of the Mario Galaxy movie, and let us know what you think about anything we said today, and take our poll on sympathetic villains. Let us know what you think about villains. But yeah, the Mario Galaxy movie was definitely just okay. I wouldn't say that it was. I think it's fair to criticize the story, but I think people are over exaggerating just how bad it was for the sake of I don't know, just tearing something down that was just meant to be wholesome.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you understand what it is, it's fine. It's a decent movie. You just watch it, be entertained. That's it.
Really, and like I said, I still think the Sonic movies are better. I think they actually do a good job of being action packed and reference filled and having a good story. Um, but the soup for what? But Mario Galaxy, I still enjoyed watching.
Yeah, let us know if you like the movie as well. So, be interesting to see.
It's one of those. It's like if you talk to people, it's funny because in the theater, you could hear the kids being like, oh, Bowser's coming. Oh, it's just everyone was excited, and it was
Yeah,
fun
the
to
kids
see.
were loving it. Yeah, it was great. They were had no problems. They were cheering and clapping. I mean,
But I
it's a good
think that
movie. It's not bad.
I think the problem though is also that nowadays the bar is so low. Like the
Hey, man.
reality is that Super Mario Galaxy, the story is pretty mid, but it's held up because it's action packed, and it's Mario, and they fill the screen with a bunch of references. I mean, I think it's essentially Ready Player One, but just Mario characters, right? Like you remember Ready Player One, there was like a reference to something every split second. Oh, it's The Shining. Oh, it's
Yeah,
Back to the Future.
that's true.
Oh, it's Mecha Godzilla. But here it's just Mario, which I'm not complaining about it. I like the casino scene where they had all the Super Mario Brothers 2 villains fight. That was pretty fun. But
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, the movie is a fun ride. It's a fun movie. If you take it too seriously,
Well, it's not
yeah,
about taking the movies. Yeah, I mean,
I think
you're right.
so. Because if you expect there to be some kind of like, you know, tale of like, moral to the story type of, that's not there. It's really just stuff happening. It's like watching the playthrough of a video game. right? You're watching them make choices, right?
Sure,
And
but I could just play the Mario games if I just wanted that.
well, I agree, but it is fun seeing it on the big screen, right?
Mm.
And it is fun seeing the characters get into trouble and then get out of trouble, and then team
It
up.
was, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's all. I mean, what else? It's like watching a monster movie. Like watching. You just want to see the monsters fight. You don't care about the human toll. You don't care about the human characters and their drama and their family drama.
Well, I mean,
You don't care. You want to see Godzilla fight King Kong.
Right, but I mean, that's partially that's not entirely true because most of
That is true.
the
That's true
successful. No,
for
it's not.
just about any
Because most
monster.
of the most memorable monster movies are the ones that actually get the right balance of the monster action and the good writing for the people.
Maybe I don't know.
It's not a maybe. That's why people
No,
love
I mean,
Godzilla minus
Godzilla
one.
minus one
That's
is a great.
Shin Godzilla.
It is a
No,
great
it's not.
story.
Shin Godzilla,
It's a
the
great story.
Japanese one. Have
Sure,
you watched Shin Godzilla? Exactly.
These are all exceptions. These are not the rule.
Yeah, there's like 50 Godzilla movies.
Right, but they're still the
Godzilla
exception.
versus
Not
Space
the rule.
Godzilla. Godzilla versus Destroyer. The first Godzilla.
Yes, the first. Yeah, go all the way back to the first Godzilla. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, because it was a good
But
movie.
what's become commonplace is make a movie. Monster X comes, Monster Y comes, sometimes Monster Z, and they all get together and they fight. And at the end,
that, but it's
your
not
favorite monster
possible.
wins and he goes home. Like that's all I'm saying. That's become the typical fare, and it's the same with some of these movies.
What I'm saying is that it's not
especially with
impossible
a movie
to have
like
that
Super Mario.
and a good story. Those things aren't mutually exclusive to each other.
I'm not saying they are. I'm saying you don't expect it with every movie. So when you get it, you're like, oh yeah, that's why Godzilla minus one stands out, right? Because he took the time to say, I'm going to give a great story here, a great human story, and he did. But that's not typical. That's not every monster movie. That's what I'm saying. That's an exception, not the rule. And it's the same with you can even look at Sonic movies, right? Those stories are not compelling stories.
I mean, they're not deep or anything like that.
Right. They're just stuff happening. Now, what gives it some weight is the fact that, like in the first one, Sonic was alone, right? He was the only of his kind and he didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
Now he gets an instant family and now he has friends, right? And he's accepted. Very basic, right? You understand? Like,
well, yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that they're not basic. But there's like a 3-act
even in this
structure.
Galaxy movie, it's just a basic story. It's not. It was about Bowser Jr. wanting to get his dad, right? And Bowser being conflicted about, well, I'm trying to turn a new leaf, but my son has fulfilled all my dreams as a villain. What do I do, right? And then ultimately, he chooses to side with his son, right? That was it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was it. And it was like they probably could have went deeper, but why? It's a video game movie. You understand? It doesn't go deep in the video game itself. Why would you go deep in the movie? That's all I'm saying. Like, why do you expect it to? Like, it doesn't need to. It's there for family fun. Like, that's really it. So, saying it has no, it does have a story. It's just isn't the story these critics may have wanted, but it's a story.
Yeah.
Right? It's a silly story. Right?
I mean, I don't have a problem with the story being silly. That's not. I mean,
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. It's like they just didn't like it because it didn't fit into the typical story structure of a lot of movies, right? 3-act or 4-act, 6-act structure, or whatever. It didn't have that. It was just events happening, and it did have a 3-act structure to a degree, but it didn't follow the normal beats that you see. So. Yeah. And honestly, I don't think it necessarily had to, because you're just watching it going, "Oh, there's Fox McCloud, awesome."
Yeah.
Oh, they're in space, great. Oh, they nailed the character. Yeah, that's how I expected them to act. Yeah, like
they didn't nail Fox.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's it. I mean, they could have had drama with Mario and Peach, and whether or not won't they, Will he tell her he likes her? All this. They didn't really go that deep into that. It was very subtle. It was like, all right, yeah, it's there. You know, it's like he likes Peach. Peach likes him. Okay. I mean, it's the game. Game does pretty much the same thing. They don't go that deep.
Yeah.
They don't have to. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not surprised that they didn't. Yeah, it'd be nice to get some kind of deep lore, like flesh out. But like, it's a world where you can eat mushrooms and get powers. Like what? What do you want? What do you want from these people? Like,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
get boxes and they give you some kind of ability. And there's plants that eat you, and ball and chains that bark like dogs.
well, I mean, it's obviously it's whimsical and fantastical. I think
That's
my
the
thing,
point.
as
Like,
someone who actually plays the Mario games, I think you're able to tell a compelling story in the Mario universe because we've
I'm not
seen it
saying you can't.
in
I think
the
you
what's
can.
it called? We've seen it in the RPGs
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But those are RPG. You kind of need a story in an RPG. So,
Yeah. But I don't know. I think critics. That's why I think some of these critics are. They're full.
No, all the critics are insane. Um,
No, I mean,
like
I'm sure some are really like, yeah, this doesn't have a story and it should and whatever. Okay.
that's a solid critique, but I've yet to read like I've yet to read an article about the Mario Galaxy movie that was written by a normal person, like a functioning human being. Like it's all been like I said, it's all been I stabbed myself in the wrist, or
Yeah,
this
right.
movie
So
destroyed my ship cannon,
yeah.
or
I know it's that's what I'm saying. It's like some of these guys are full of it. They're not serious. They're
yeah.
I agree. Like I appreciate Critical Drinker, right? He did a review, surprisingly, which I didn't expect him to do one on this movie.
Yeah.
And he acknowledged that, yeah, there's really not much story, but it's a fun watch, and if you're a fan of the games, and you're going to enjoy it. Like it's pretty balanced. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I really liked.
He didn't get all upset about it.
I like Pitch Meetings' take on the Mario movie as well.
Oh
It's
yeah,
kind of what I feel about it. It's like, hey, look, there's Yoshi. Oh, Yoshi. It's just, it's pretty much
yeah,
what
that
happened.
would be hilarious. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like you can't get too some of this stuff. It's like Scorsese said, right? He's like they're like amusement park rides. Somebody
Right,
like
but the thing is
Marvel.
that with
This is
a
an
roller
amusement park
coaster,
ride. Yeah, that's it.
right?
That's
But,
all.
well, the full quote is the full point was that after you get off the ride, you kind of forget about it. Which, like, if you're making a movie,
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose.
No, it's not. It doesn't. The purpose of a lot of movies, right? Some movies is like a documentary is to make you remember, right? To make you go, hey, this is happening and you should care about it, right? That's kind of or this happened and you should care about it.
Mm.
So you remember it after the movie. And then there's some movies, like you say, The Godfather or something, right? Where it's memorable, right? It becomes iconic, so you remember it well after, right? Then there's movies like, phase 1 through 2 or 3 even of the Marvel Universe, where they're all superhero movies and they're meant to take you for a ride and be exciting and fun and exhilarating. And then, you do kind of forget about them until the next one, right? And during that time, it wasn't even about forgetting. It was about, oh, there's another one coming. Get excited about the next one, right? And so with the Mario movies, I think it's an amusement park ride. It's not forgettable because you are going to look forward to the next one, right?
Yeah.
And that's fine. And I think that's the intended goal. The goal is not to be deep or to comment about society and the ills of society or injustice or inequality. The goal is to take a video game, make it a movie, and entertain you, make you laugh and have fun. Right?
Yeah.
That's it. And that's what it did. It did it well. I have no problems with it. If you're looking for a deep story that makes you, get you all in your feels, I don't know what to tell you. Go watch a different movie. Like,
One thing I will say I do appreciate about the Mario movies is that, especially the Galaxy, is that they utilize the actual video game music uh, pretty well.
yeah, they did. Yeah,
That's something that the Sonic movies kind of struggle with until the third. They didn't really use a lot of the game songs, but with the Mario Galaxy movie, like a lot of the motifs
you do a good job of that.
were from Galaxy, Mario 64. When they got to Bowser's planet or whatever, they played Bowser's theme from Mario 64. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So stuff like that, it was really fun.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like for enthusiasts, for hardcore fans, for new fans, because now it's not just me, right? And it's not just you and your brother. Now it's these elementary age school and junior high kids and high school kids that are fans now, right? I mean, this is multi-generational, and they're like, look, let's just have fun and just make something awesome, and let's give them all the Easter eggs and the cameos, etc. And that's what they did, and that's awesome. That's fun, and hopefully they'll continue to do that. And it'd be nice if they went harder with like a hardcore story. I don't know if they necessarily have to, because this was pretty entertaining. So as long as there's enough there to, where the characters are doing something that seems meaningful, within the context of the story, right? Like
well, it's not even about having a hardcore story. I mean, I think.
No, I mean, but you want to, like, this movie made me want to go along for the ride. Like when they, when they found Yoshi, it's like, oh yeah, what's going to happen, right? Oh, they found Yoshi, awesome, right? And then they're at the castle, and the castle gets hijacked, right? It's like, oh, okay, so what's going to happen next? Oh, I wonder. Oh, now they're on this weird planet. Okay, you understand? Like, it was just a lot of things happening, but I was there for it. I was like, okay, oh yeah, I recognize, yeah, okay, like that was great, And some things I wish there was more, right? Like. But it's like you only have so much time in the movie. There's a lot you can cover with Super Mario, right? Like there's so much, So hopefully in the next movie, they'll do even more. I'm hoping they'll do a Smash Brothers. That's going to be, to me. That's going to be like the event, right?
They've laid the groundwork. I mean, they
opened the floodgates. They definitely with Fox McCloud. Yeah, they definitely.
Well, it's also they had Pikmin. They had the Pikmin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
we saw Samus's ship in the background
so
somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot, So I hope they do. I kind of felt like doing Galaxy was a bit premature. I still think it is. I think they should have. That should have been a whole other movie with a whole other story, but. Still, it's fine. I mean, this should have been just Super Mario Brothers 2. And you can still have the same story pretty much with Peach and her sister and all that. But Galaxy could have been like.
Well, Rosalina is from Super Mario Galaxy, so we can't really.
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, it should have been a whole. Yeah. But still, I'm cool with it. So, I look forward to the next one. Hopefully, it'll be just as fun, And I mean, but I'm looking forward to Smash Brothers. I actually hope they do a Fox McCloud movie, like standalone. I hope
they make an actual game because I keep saying this like every.
Yeah, well, hopefully they will. If it gets greenlit for a movie, they'll definitely. I think they'll do a game to court.
Well, my thing is most of the games in the Star Fox series are just remakes of the original Super Nintendo games.
Yeah.
There's only like 3 original games that actually continue the story.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. But if they do a movie, which I hope they do a separate standalone movie, right?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. And I think they would do a game. It would just make sense, right? To do a game to call it.
I don't see them not making a game after this.
Yeah, exactly. So because a lot of people were hyped. I mean, I was hyped to see them in the movie. So, I would love a new game. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's so much potential with Nintendo right now with movies, and even series. They can end up doing a series. Who knows?
This right here, this is this number is 89%. That's where the money's at.
That's what.
This is I'm on Rotten Tomatoes. This number right here, that's where all the money's at. This number right here, that's where all the crazy people are at. Yeah, this 89%.
Well, those are the people that are out of touch and don't understand video game culture, and they don't get the appeal. They really don't, and what they're looking for is a Disney-esque approach to Super Mario and to Nintendo properties, and they're not going to get that because there was no Disney-esque approach in the gaming space. So what they're going to get is a gaming approach to the movies, and the gaming approach is there's some story, right? But it depends on the property. Like if they do Seamus, for example, which I hope they
Metroid,
do. That's going to need a really dope story, and there is a story there. So they just need to flesh it out and develop. Like gamers, fans, they're gonna expect a story. Like it's got to be solid, right? Yeah. But with Super Mario Brothers, it doesn't need something deep and emotional. It just needs something fun and whimsical that falls in line with the established lore. I mean, and that's what this last movie did. That's what the first movie did, but especially the last movie, right? So they don't. It's like the standard isn't the same as a Disney type property. You understand? I wouldn't say it's a lower quality. That's definitely not the case. It's just a different kind of storytelling, and you see that in the games themselves. Like it's not typical storytelling that you see like cinematically, right? So, like Sonic, they've managed to turn it into a cinematic storytelling, right? And there's a lot of story and lore because they've already did it for television successfully for the most part, right?
Well, they also did it in the later games too.
And they did it in the comics, So there's a lot to kind of cull and draw from. And even still, they still gave us Lifetime Channel Sonic, right? I mean, you understand, especially Sonic 2. Like, I'm not gonna let that go. It's like, bro, you didn't need that scene at all. But three made up for it, so it was really pretty good. They only had a small cameo. It was fine. But you understand, like it's kind of like they've managed to find the right beats with Sonic, and they'll do that with Mario. And it looks like they have. They're doing it. So and it's fully animated. It's not live action mixed with that like Sonic like they're doing at Sonic, right? It's because I'd rather have a fully animated Sonic, to be perfectly honest. Like big budget,
I think
full blown theatrical animation. That to me that would be epic. Like
we would have gotten a fully animated Sonic if it wasn't for Ken Penders.
That's a
whole other can of worms.
That's another story. But it's like that would be, and hopefully maybe we will. I mean, it's still possible because now they've established the movies. They can pull from that and make animated series or perfectly a movie. So now they have their own. It's the separate IP and all that. In any case, that would be awesome. But with Super Mario, just keep doing what you're doing. And have fun because it is fun. I mean, that's it. It's fun. Ask any kid; they're gonna tell you it was great. I loved it. They're not gonna go, "Oh, there was no story." They'll say that about 5 or 10 years from now when they're older. They'll go, "Yeah, there was no story. Why did I like this?"
Well, I think 5 or 10 years from now, most kids will still like the Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, they're still gonna like it. I'm just saying, they'll start to go, "Yeah, there was no story," but they're still gonna be fans, right? But I'm just saying, like Grace Randolph is a good sort of example of that 43%. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to know why that's 43%, just watch a Grace Randolph review.
Yeah.
The first Super Mario movie, and even
Yeah.
this one, and you'll understand why that's 43%. That's basically what I'm saying.
No, you're right.
Just out of touch, don't get it. Like, it's they just don't. They don't have a clue. Like, it's gaming culture, gaming. They don't get it. They don't understand. So, and it's not that it's difficult. It's just they're not part of that culture in any meaningful way. So
No.
that's why somehow she can tie in Red Pill with Mario, because there is no tie.
I watched that review she did, and just the way she talks, just like she has no idea what she's talking about.
She has no idea what she's talking about.
She's just trying to find the right buzzwords to like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like listening. Like, and listen, I'm a parent. I'm in my 50s. You can see, I have gray hair, right? And I understand what I was watching. I'm like, this is an old person trying to sound relevant. trying to, like, that's what that was. Like, hey kids, hey fellow teenagers.
How do you do, fellow children? Yeah.
Yeah, like that's all it was. And like I said, I think there was a producer or somebody that's like whispering, talk about Red Pill. That's the buzz term. It'll get us more views. But like, they've done their research on YouTube.
It's just
and
this.
when Red Pill is mentioned,
I don't know what show this is from, but it's so relevant.
Yeah, that's it. How do you do, fellow kids? Yeah, that's all it is. And it's not working, obviously, but yeah, that's the point. And don't listen to the critic. That's why Rotten Tomatoes, I just ignore the critic reviews. I don't pay attention because I'm like, it doesn't matter. So when I see like they release a movie or something and they go, critics on Rotten Tomatoes rated this 70% fresh, whatever, but then I don't see an audience review, I don't care. I go, oh, that doesn't matter, right? When I see an audience review, then I go, oh, okay, and the audience says it's great or it's whatever, or it's I tend to believe the audience, right? I'll take their opinion because they're the people that paid money to see this thing, right? So I think their opinion matters way more than a critic who got to see it for free, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying, So, but yeah, go see it if you haven't seen it, especially if you're a Mario fan or Nintendo in general. Go check it out. And speaking of which, I just went to Universal Studios.
Oh yeah, that was random. Where you went to the Mario Land?
Mario Land, yeah. And listen, it was amazing. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, it
looks I was pleasantly surprised at how thorough and detailed it was. Like, they got everything right. The turtles, the shells, the warp tubes, it was like, wow, like, this is really cool. Like, it made me jealous. Like, I wish I was like 9 or 10 years old again.
Yeah, that's what I always think. It's like, man, you guys have it so.
Listen, good. Man. Yeah. I was saying, like, man, if you guys were kids and this came out, oh my God, I would be in trouble. I would have to take you like every week.
Yeah.
Can we go back to Super Nintendo Land? Like, oh man, all right, let's go.
Well, not even just like the movie. It's like these kids, they have no idea how lucky they are that they got.
I know, yeah. I mean, yeah, we definitely would have, because remember we watched Pokemon, and the first Pokemon, we watched that in theaters.
That's true.
Yeah,
this was the Mario Brothers movie we got as a kid.
Yeah.
Listen, this movie.
Listen, when I first saw this, I didn't realize, because when I saw it, it was already on. It was like on cable or something.
Yeah, I saw it like HBO.
So I didn't realize it was a Mario movie. I was I caught it like after it already started, and I'm like, oh, this looks, because I saw the guy, and he had the small head and the big, right? And I was
the Goomba.
The Goomba. And I'm like, what movie is this? It just looks so weird, right?
Yeah.
And then after watching it a while, I realized, oh my God, this is a Super Mario. what?
Doesn't that look like Mario?
And I just thought to myself, like, how is this remotely even? It was the weirdest. I'm
Luigi,
like, whoever
where are
did
the
this,
aliens?
like, they should be shot. Like, this is crazy. But yeah, this was terrible. You know, it's become this sort of cult. You know, like people just appreciate it because it was at least an attempt. You know, to take a video game.
Yeah, an attempt.
One of the first.
Doesn't that look like Mario and Luigi?
Yeah, it's like what? And John Leguizamo, listen, I like John Leguizamo, but no, he was not Luigi. The other guy, he was okay. He just needed the hat.
Oh, Bob Hoskins. I like Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins.
I
He was okay.
like
I didn't mind him. As much. But John Leguizamo, I just felt like he was a little. He felt a little too young. I guess you know, like he didn't.
Well,
because I always saw them as like almost like twins, like they should be around the same.
Well, yeah,
age.
that was the idea, but in the context of the movie, they make it seem like Mario like had to like raise Luigi.
Yeah, exactly. Like they made him so young, and it just didn't make any sense. So yeah, there's a lot of more than that, but that was just the basics.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this
instead of So Long King Bowser.
Listen, I can appreciate it that hey, at least they tried. You know, they tried to do something. I guess. You know, and at the time they didn't have like the budget, obviously, for any elaborate VFX.
It doesn't seem like it was a budget problem because here's the thing: they hired.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't necessarily a budget problem. Yeah.
Well, they hired the same set designer as Blade Runner, so the Blade Runner guy helped design the Mario movie.
Yeah, but was the Blade Runner guy
just a vision?
Was he a Mario fan? Did he even understand?
No, it wasn't. That's
what I'm saying. Like,
when you look into the what's it called, the background of like the production.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, they had
it's
a
like
vision.
They said there's this game and it has these things in it. Then they stopped looking at the game altogether.
Yeah,
said, make these things.
Yeah.
You know, like you know what I mean. And then they re-described. It's like the game Telephone, right? When it goes in here, by the time it gets to the other end, it's something completely different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's kind of what happened with this. Like it started off like, oh, we're gonna make a Super Mario Brothers game into a movie, and it ended up being here's a movie,
the game,
and it's called Super Mario Brothers. And that's it.
Yeah,
that's the only resemblance it has to.
All they had to do was, have Mario rescue Princess Peach, but instead they were like, "What if the meteor that hit the dinosaurs transported them?"
Right? It's like what? The dinosaurs were here. Like, yeah, it made no sense. This is not my. This is a whole other story. If this was called something else, I think most people would go, "Hey, wasn't that? Remember that weird movie? That was pretty fun, right?"
Yeah.
But because it's called Super Mario Brothers, it's like, no, bro. No. You missed it. You missed it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is a trip. Yeah. So yeah, you guys are quite fortunate to get what you're getting. You're eating good. That's all I can say. You're eating good.
Oh yeah.
It's like beautiful graphics, visuals, cinematic treatment. Man.
It's like night and day.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it's kind of wild. So, but yeah, go see the movie. It's good. I enjoyed it. So,
yeah.
But that's all I have for today. Do you have anything else you want to touch on?
Go watch the.
Thanks. Yeah, go watch it. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Go to our website. Sign up to our email list. Get a free digital comment. And hope you follow our channels. On X, it's the Alphatron. And on Facebook, it's just me, Jerry McClellan Sr. And or Super Galactic Fantastic. And follow our YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to our channel, Super Galactic Fantastic. It's also youtube.com/the Alphatron. So I've been posting a lot of videos. I've been experimenting with some of the latest AI tools. The goal is to tell great stories. So I'm trying to put together some great stories. And I'm still working on the book. And hopefully we'll be able to crowdfund it soon and get some pages done and get it published. I just gotta, buckle down and save up some money, all that good stuff, you know. Uh, but yeah, and AI is helping a lot with developing the book for Omega Blue, and just about done with that. So that'll be coming out hopefully soon. I just, you know, you understand, folks. You know, we're working full-time jobs and everything. We have family, and so you know the deal. Life gets in the way. So we're working hard to try to make it happen and give you something awesome to cheer for and enjoy and be entertained by. So yeah, go to the site, Super
All
Galactic
in due
Fantastic.
time.
And what'd you say?
I said all in due time.
All in due time. Yeah, yeah, we're still pushing and still plucking away. So, and we thank you for your support and everything that we do. And thanks for your time and attention today. And have a super galactic Saturday.
We'll see you around.